After 3 heartwarming days, a single mom discovered an incredible man willing to be a father. Ava felt the weight of long days and sleepless nights press down on her. At 32, as a single mother to Mia and Jake, life was tough, filled with endless responsibilities and worries. But this year, the summer festival poured a beacon of hope into her heavy heart. The town was buzzing, voices of neighbors mingling, children running in joyful chaos, and the rich aroma of pies and grilled burgers wafting through the air. As she watched Mia and Jake play, laughter bubbling forth, Ava took a deep breath. Perhaps today would be different. Amid the crowd, she stumbled upon a pie-eating contest. Suddenly hungry, she joined the line just as she overheard a familiar voice behind her. "You can never go wrong with apple pie," he said. Turning around, Ava encountered Sam. He was new to town, a gentle veteran. His eyes held stories young and old, shadows and light. They both reached for the last slice of pie simultaneously, laughter connecting them instantly. For 3 glorious days, they weaved through the festival together. Sam's kindness opened doors Ava had shut long ago. Whether dodging playful kids flinging water balloons or cheering on strangers in a tug-of-war, they shared playful exchanges that felt at once electric and safe. Sam listened as she shared tales of sleepless nights, of balancing 2 jobs, of little hands running to greet her every time she walked through the door. In return, he opened his world, revealing the battles he faced, both past and present. Ava could see resilience in his smile, an authenticity that was contagious. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue that laughter, so pure and unfiltered, wrapped around Ava like a warm blanket. She felt a spark of hope flicker deep inside, a small flame igniting, telling her it was okay to start redefining her happiness. She watched as Sam interacted with Mia and Jake, teaching them how to throw the perfect water balloon, making the kids burst into giggles. It felt so right. But as the sun began to set on their adventure, reality crept back in. Dark shadows loomed. A crisis was brewing. A sudden scream shattered the laughter like fragile glass. A car, speeding through the festival, sent panic swirling. Children scattered, and Ava's instincts kicked in. She jolted toward Mia and Jake, her heart racing. But as fear seized her, there was Sam, resolute and fearless, visibly fueled by something deeper than the moment's fright. He dashed ahead, scooping Jake out of harm's way, while directing Mia to stay close to him. In that breathless instant, Ava felt her heart swell with an overwhelming mix of awe and confusion. Could she trust him enough to let him into their lives? Would his bravery redefine what family could mean for her children? As faces turned towards Sam in admiration, she felt a hesitant warmth blossoming in her chest. Would their story continue beyond this moment? Would love bloom amid the chaos? Or would her worries choke it before it began? The echoes of joy were now shadowed by uncertainty. As Ava stared across the crowd, her heart full of questions, she realized this was just the beginning. Ava couldn't shake off the image of Sam, his determined stride as he darted through the chaos. He didn't just save Jake. He embodied everything she once dreamed of: the protector, the partner concept she had tucked away for so long. But beneath the thrill, anxiety coiled around her heart like a vine. As the festival atmosphere slowly wove back into its playful fabric, the laughter cautiously returned. Children giggled as they splashed in the fountain. The adult murmurs skimmed back to friendly chatter, but Ava felt distant. She found herself standing apart, watching Sam as he lifted Jake onto his shoulders. The sheer joy in Jake's eyes mirrored those of the other kids riding on their parents' backs. It burned a bit, that longing for a connection she thought she had buried years ago. "Hey, you all right?" Sam set Jake down and approached her, his brow furrowed with concern. She nodded, though her voice trembled slightly. "Yeah, just a lot to process. It's okay to feel that way. A moment like that, it shakes you up," he replied softly, his steady gaze holding her. "But I wanted to make sure they were safe." It's what anyone would do for kids, right? A chill danced up her spine, the tenderness in his words wrapping around her heart like a soft scarf. Right. For a heartbeat, vulnerability passed between them, thick and real. In the world of chaos, she could hear the whisper of something inside her, a silent call to consider a life less solitary. Mia came bounding over, her face flushed with excitement. Mom, can we go on the Ferris wheel? Please? Ava smiled at her daughter's enthusiasm, but her heart sunk slightly. It had been so long since they'd done something like that as a family. But what did a family even mean anymore? Sam's gaze shifted from Mia to Ava, illuminating an unspoken question. I'd love to take you all. It'll be fun. His innocent enthusiasm made it impossible for her to say no. Okay, Ava breathed out, her resolve beginning to falter. She watched the kids light up in delight, their laughter echoing in harmony with her own rising hopes. As they approached the Ferris wheel, each step felt heavier, daunting, like she was stepping off the edge of a cliff. What if this fleeting moment turned into something more? Could she trust him, and would opening her heart again lead to warmth or heartbreak? As they climbed into the car of the wheel, the world below them shrank, and for a moment, everything felt safe. Her heart raced, but not just from the heights. Sam sat across from her, grinning, and she could see him trying to hold Mia's hand. Jake was bouncing in excitement, clapping his little hands. When they reached the highest point, the world unfolded beneath them, like a canvas splattered with vibrant colors. Look, Mia exclaimed, pointing toward the parade of lights illuminating the festival. But Ava's gaze locked on Sam. The warmth in his demeanor felt like a balm to her weary spirit. A memory flashed in her mind, a cozy life with laughter-filled evenings, kids' art on the fridge. All that seemed so far away. Sam, she spoke, her voice wavering. What if this isn't just about today? What if it leads to? His eyes widened slightly, and anticipation hung in the air. What if it does? Maybe it's time to start asking bigger questions. The breeze tousled her hair, the carnival lights twinkled, and the weight of uncertainty clashed with the thrill of new beginnings. Could she dare to go there? Just then, a spark ignited in her chest, pushing her toward the edge of possibility. But just as she was about to lean into the hope blooming within her, the Ferris wheel jolted, and with it, her thoughts swirled again. Could she face whatever might come next? And under the veil of summer night, with hearts racing and futures uncertain, she couldn't shake the question simmering in her mind. Was this just a fleeting moment of joy, or the turning point she never thought possible? Ava's heart raced as the Ferris wheel swayed beneath them. She gripped the safety bar, but it wasn't fear that held her tight. It was a strange mix of exhilaration and trepidation. Sam's presence opposite her felt charged, electric, like an unspoken promise waiting to be fulfilled. She could sense it in the air, their lives intertwining in a way she hadn't anticipated. Mia's delighted squeals broke through her thoughts. Mom, look at the lights. She pointed eagerly, eyes shimmering like the stars overhead. Jake giggled, slapping his palms together, caught up in the joy of the moment, blissfully unaware of the whirlwind of emotions swirling around his mother. But beneath the laughter, Ava felt a tightness in her chest. Was it fair to bring Sam into their lives? He had been there for her in a moment of crisis, but was he truly willing to take on the complexities of their little family, the unspoken scars of her past? She had been alone for so long, weaving the fabric of their days with care and caution. What would happen if she unraveled those threads? As they descended from the peak of the ride, feeling the gentle tug of gravity, her mind raced. The scenery below shifted like a living painting, families, friends, lovers, all sharing in this whirlwind of summer joy. Ava turned her focus back to Sam, who was smiling at Mia, playfully leaning to catch Jake's attention. For a moment, it felt effortless, simple. Wasn't that what life was supposed to be? They touched down on solid ground, the moment of excitement lingering in the air as the wheel came to a stop. Sam helped them out, his strong hand steadying them as they hopped onto the ground. So what next? Games. Cotton candy? He asked, the sunlight catching in his eyes, illuminating his warmth. Ava blinked, startled by how carefree he seemed. Could she let go of her reservations for just a little while? Games sound fun, she replied, a flicker of hope igniting within her. They wandered through the festival, laughter intertwining with the sweet smell of funnel cakes and popcorn. Sam turned to her often, checking in with a grin that made her heart flutter. It was a feeling she hadn't allowed herself to experience in years, but as laughter bubbled up around them, it was hard to ignore the chemistry brewing beneath the surface. "Hey, watch this," Sam called, darting to one of the game booths. Jake's eyes grew wide with admiration, and Mia's laughter rang out as Sam's playful spirit lit up the atmosphere around them. Ava lingered, watching them together. There was a natural ease in the way he engaged with her kids, a spark of connection that felt like it had always been there. All her apprehensions began to soften, melting away like the last remnants of winter to the promise of spring. As the day wore on, moments unfolded: laughter over silly hats, quick jabs at each other's skill in ring toss, late afternoon light filtering through the trees as they shared a giant cotton candy. With every moment she felt her barriers slipping, letting the warmth of affection seep in, but a voice in her head warned her to be cautious, to remember. "Should we do one last ride?" Sam asked, his tone teasing yet hopeful as they arrived at the carousel. "Sure," Mia cheered, and even Jake chimed in, bouncing on his heels. As they climbed aboard, Ava positioned herself between the kids, her heart fluttering at the sight of Sam on the opposite horse, beaming like a kid himself. The music played, spinning memories and anticipation together. With each turn, she felt the gravity of change settling around her, gently coaxing her to embrace what she had feared for so long. But when the ride slowed down and they prepared to hop off, an unsettling thought struck her. Was she ready to see where this road led? Did that invite Sam into their lives for more than just a day of joy? As they stepped onto solid ground again, a wave of uncertainty washed over her. Just when she thought she knew what she wanted, what was right, another question rose in her mind. Why had she allowed herself to open up just enough to taste a fleeting joy when a reality lurked just beyond? And with that thought clinging like a shadow, Ava exchanged glances with Sam, the unsaid words thick in the air between them. Could they navigate this twist in their story, or was this moment just a passageway to more heartache? As they stepped off the carousel, that lingering doubt hung between them like a heavy fog. Ava smiled at Mia and Jake, two little sparks of life who radiated joy, yet her heart felt weighted down, the thrill of the day battling her instinct to protect them all. "Let us check out that face-painting booth," Sam suggested, his excitement infectious. The kids immediately buzzed at the idea, darting toward the colorful stand with its whimsical designs splashed across a poster. Ava took a deep breath, trying to ground herself in the moment, but her thoughts darted around like fireflies. Sam had been nothing but kind and genuine, but where would this path lead? What if it didn't work out, and she had to pull back the light she allowed into their lives? "Mom, look, I want a tiger," Mia squeaked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Whoa, and I want a superhero mask." Jake jumped up and down, his innocence and pure excitement pulling a smile from Ava despite her swirling thoughts. "You got it," Sam beamed, taking charge. Ava watched as he leaned down to listen to the kids, his easy laughter mixing with theirs. There was something about the way he interacted with them that made her heart ache with a yearning she had buried for too long. As paintbrushes danced over their cheeks, Ava stood close, absorbing the moment. Sam caught her eye, a knowing smile on his lips. Did he feel it too? The magnetic pull between them? She shook her head slightly, trying to dismiss her hopes yet again. Once Mia and Jake were transformed into their fierce tiger and brave superhero, they plowed ahead to the next booth, a ring toss that promised a fluffy prize if they landed a hoop just right. As Sam joined them at the game, she watched how he encouraged them, cheering for every attempt with unfiltered enthusiasm. It was a small gesture, but it spoke volumes. "Just remember, it's all about practice." He laughed when Mia barely missed her first toss. "You can do this. You've got the strength of a tiger." Mia giggled, emboldened by his belief. Ava's heart fluttered at the warmth radiating from him, a man who could easily step into their little bubble and add joy instead of chaos. But as they finished the game and claimed their prizes, a sinking realization tugged at her again. What would it mean to rely on someone else? Could she risk her kids' happiness on something that could just slip away? "Hey, you okay?" Sam asked, his voice drawing her back from her spiraling thoughts as he moved in closer. Ava looked into his eyes, pools of sincerity and warmth, and felt a pang of something akin to fear run through her. "Yeah, just thinking," she said softly, the weight of her hesitation palpable. "About?" He searched her gaze, his own expression a blend of curiosity and concern. It felt like he wanted to dive deeper, unearth the depth of her worries, but Ava was afraid of what he might find. "About everything," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's just complicated, you know?" At that moment, Mia tugged at her sleeve, gesturing dramatically toward a clown juggling just a few feet away, giggles escaping her lips. Ava knew she had to focus on the joyous noise around her, but Sam's presence, so steady and inviting, made it hard to push aside the questions that loomed larger than the laughter. "Come on, we can't miss the clown. I'll race you to him," Sam declared, playfully dashing after the kids. Ava took a step after them, torn. What if this was the moment that changed everything? What if she embraced this warmth he offered? The thought sent a flicker of excitement through her, but was quickly shadowed by her doubt. Would Sam still be willing to stand by her if he understood the full weight of the past she carried? As laughter echoed around her, she hesitated, watching the vibrant scene of joy unfold before her. Could she trust him with her heart? In the distance, laughter faded and she could hear a soft breeze whispering secrets in her ear, promises of what could be. But before she could figure it all out, Mia's shout broke her reverie. "Mom, come on. We don't want to miss the show." With that beckoning, Ava felt the pull of possibility. But in her heart, a new thought ignited. If Sam didn't walk away, what would that really mean for them all? And with that question hovering just out of reach, Ava followed her children, unsure of where this path might lead, but knowing in her heart that something had already shifted. Could one day of joy turn into something more, something lasting? The crowd around the small stage rounded up as children squealed in delight, fresh face paint shimmering in the afternoon sun. Mia clutched her tiger paws, while Jake bounced excitedly, already assuming the superhero pose he practiced in front of the mirror. Ava followed, her cautious heart beginning to open as the laughter wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Sam appeared, a wide grin plastered across his face, clearly caught up in their joy. "All right, you two. Are you ready to meet the world's funniest clown?" he exclaimed, mimicking a clown's exaggerated gestures. Jake cackled, mimicking him back, while Mia jumped up and down, her excitement palpable. As the clown took center stage, tossing colorful balls that twinkled in the sunlight, Ava found herself lost for a moment. The sight of her children so carefree, so blissfully unaware of the shadows lurking just beyond their laughter, caught at her heart. She wanted to protect that innocence, but was she capable of letting someone else in? Time passed quickly as the clown performed, and Ava shared sly smiles with Sam, a connection growing between them. Each wink exchanged felt electric, reawakening parts of her heart that had turned cold with fear. After the show, the kids were buzzing, their energy almost spilling over. They dragged Sam toward the cotton candy stand, and Ava followed closely, enjoying the sweet swirl of delight in the air, watching as Sam laughed and twirled around the kids, letting them steal bites of the sugary treat. "Do you remember that one time?" Sam started, his voice warm, the laughter of the children punctuating his stories. Ava felt her heart flicker with something akin to hope. The way he engaged the kids, it was genuine. There was no pretense, no hidden motives. Just him, willing to step into their world without hesitation. But that same nagging doubt clawed at her insides again. What if he enjoyed this version of their life? The happy facade painted by laughter and cheer? What would happen when the reality of Ava's struggles crashed in? "Sam," she began, her voice clipped with the weight of her thoughts. He turned toward her, curiosity lighting his eyes, as if he could sense the shift in her energy. "Yeah?" Ava swallowed hard. "It's just thank you for being so amazing with them. It means a lot." He stepped closer, his tone light, yet serious. "I like being around you guys. It's fun, like a break from the mundane." "A break," Ava echoed, the warmth swirling into uncertainty. The kids began tugging him away toward the next booth, calling for him to try the bumper cars. Sam glanced back at Ava with a sparkle in his eyes. "You coming?" he asked. She hesitated, balancing her misgivings against the urge to step forward into this vibrant scene with him. Perhaps this was the moment she feared, her chance to pull away, to retreat back into safety. But she felt a shift, a desire to embrace the joy instead. "Okay, I'm in," she finally said, her voice firmer than she felt. The kids squealed with delight, and together they raced toward the bumper cars, laughter spilling from all directions. As Ava slid into the small car next to Sam, reality brought with it a rush of exhilaration. The heart-pounding fun mixed with the thrill of new connections of laughter, of shared experiences. It had been ages since she allowed herself such carefree joy. But deep inside, Ava was still questioning. Would this rush of happiness vanish the moment the laughter faded? As the cars bounced around, Mia and Jake cackled, the pure joy evident on their faces. Sam's hand brushed against hers, a small gesture that left a tingling sensation in its wake. Their laughs mingled in the air, and in that fleeting moment, everything felt right. But Ava knew she wasn't the only one carrying the weight of uncertainty. What if he wanted more than fun? What if he sought a deeper commitment? After the ride, they stumbled out, breathless and exhilarated. Sam looked at her, his expression sincere. You really are like a breath of fresh air, Ava. I mean it. Her heart danced, yet doubts clouded the happiness. How could she let him in fully, knowing the struggles and scars she carried? With Mia bouncing ahead and Jake still giggling, the moment cast a spell over them all, carefree dreams and laughter. Yet within Ava, an internal storm raged. Would she find the courage to embrace this connection? Could she let go of the scared shadow darkening their lives? As they walked towards the next attraction, her heart thundered with questions. The thrill of a day filled with joy, the shadows of her past, and the warmth Sam offered all collided in one overwhelming wave. And in the sudden silence that filled her mind, one thought stood out: what would happen if she chose to trust again? The bumper car ride had left them all breathless, laughter still bubbling up in waves. As they walked toward the carousel, Mia was practically bouncing with energy. Jake clutched a balloon animal Sam had made for him, his eyes shining. Ava observed them, her heart full, yet the familiar thread of doubt woven into her joy tugged at her insides. Look, Mom, it's a unicorn, Mia exclaimed, her voice filled with pure jubilation as they approached the brightly painted carousel. Sam, with his sunny smile, crouched down to meet Jake's level. You ready to race the horses? He asked, a mischievous sparkle in his eyes. Jake nodded so vigorously that Ava was sure his head might fall off. Let us go, Sam said, leaping up and grabbing the kid's hands. Ava trailed behind, her heart racing in a different way. She felt like a steady stream of joy surrounded her as the children donned their expressions of sheer excitement. But her mind was tangled. The way Sam had engaged with them so naturally stirred a wildly protective instinct within her. They climbed onto the carousel, vibrant horses circling and rising and falling, and Sam took the one adjacent to Mia, who was delighted. Ava settled in the seat next to Jake, the rhythmic music soothing yet oddly jarring against her racing thoughts. The carousel spun, and laughter filled the air. Ava briefly closed her eyes, allowing herself to get lost in the moment. For a heartbeat, she felt suspended in time, spirit lifted. But as the music swayed, so did her thoughts. What if she let herself fall deeper? What if she trusted Sam? But there was always the risk of them finding out about the burdens she carried. Just how long could they maintain this carefree facade? Suddenly, the carousel slowed to a halt, breaking her from the reverie. Sam swung down from his horse, helping Mia step off with a flourish. Your chariot awaits, he announced playfully, inviting her to come forth. Mia, you were amazing on it, he cheered, earning a beaming smile from her. Ava watched them, her heart swelling with admiration. He fit so well with her children. They laughed, they played, and for a moment, the shadows seemed to disappear. But under the surface, Ava wrestled with an overwhelming fear. Could she give Sam the chance to truly know her? Before she could spiral further, Jake piped up, can we get ice cream? His innocent request cut through Ava's chaos, redirecting her thoughts. Absolutely. Let us go, Sam replied, his enthusiasm infectious, and they walked toward the ice cream stand with quickened steps. Sam fell back in step with Ava, casually brushing against her shoulder and igniting warmth in her chest. That was fun, he said, his voice dropping slightly, as if he was crossing a threshold. It was, she agreed, her pulse quickening under the weight of what was unfolding. Why do you look like you're thinking too much? It's an ice cream day, Sam added with a smile, attempting to lighten her mood. Ava chuckled softly. I guess I can be a bit of a worrywart still getting my bearings. His gaze was steady, and it made her feel seen. Worrying about what's next? Or worrying about what's behind? Both, she thought. A bit of both, I suppose. Just then, the moment was interrupted as the kids rushed ahead, eager to see the array of colorful flavors. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue over the fairground, but the warmth in Ava's heart was slowly seeping into her bones. Sam's voice cut through her thoughts again, filled with genuine curiosity. What if we stopped worrying for just today? Just let ourselves enjoy this time? His words echoed in her mind. For now, cautiously allowing herself to embrace the moment felt like a risk worth taking. What was there to lose? As they ordered their ice cream, Ava couldn't shake the feeling of being on the precipice of something life-changing. Could she really step into the sunshine again, one day at a time? But as the laughter danced around her, the question lingered: was she brave enough to face tomorrow, knowing the shadows could return at any moment? The haunted corners of her heart whispered a challenge. What if she chose to trust not just in Sam, but in herself? The sweet scent of waffle cones enveloped them as they made their way to the ice cream stand. Sam and the kids crowded around the frozen treat display, their vibrant voices cutting through the evening air, filled with joy and laughter. Ava stood back for a moment, taking it all in the glow of the setting sun illuminating Sam's animated face as he playfully debated which flavor was the best. Mint chocolate chip, for sure, Sam declared, holding up a scoop as Jake nodded vigorously, eyes wide. Mia clutched her unicorn balloon tightly, torn between the allure of sprinkles and the rich chocolate fudge. Ava watched as Sam knelt beside them, patiently helping them choose their treats, his warmth radiating like the sun that dipped low on the horizon. But behind her smile, Ava wrestled with emotions that twisted in her chest. She tried to savor this simple moment, but a patchwork of fears unfurled in her mind. What if this was too good to be true? What if she let herself dream and it all fell apart? Mom, Mia called, dragging her back to reality. Can you get me chocolate fudge with sprinkles? Sam says it's the best. Yes, sweetheart. That sounds perfect, Ava replied, her voice light, even as doubt tugged at her. Sam ordered for them all, playfully bantering with Jake about the ultimate Sunday creation. The way he made them laugh touched a place deep inside Ava, a place that had felt dormant for far too long. As they each secured their towering cones, Sam turned to Ava, a genuine smile gracing his face. What is your poison? He asked, his eyes twinkling with mischief. Ava hesitated. I'll go for vanilla, thank you. Simple but classic. Just like you, huh? He teased, winking at her. Her heart skipped a beat. Was this just banter, or did it carry a hint of something deeper? The group found a shaded bench to enjoy their treats. Sam sat closely, laughter hanging between them like an unspoken connection. Time felt elastic. Each moment stretched out, weaving the fabric of a new memory that she feared would slip away at dawn. The laughter of Mia and Jake mixed with the sweet rasping of their spoons against chilly cups, while beneath it all, a tantalizing tension simmered. Okay, Sam said, breaking through the jubilant chatter. Let us race to see who can finish their ice cream first. Last one to finish has to do the chicken dance. Mia challenged, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Jake joined in, his tiny fists pumped in the air. I'm gonna win. Ava smiled, watching the exuberant competition ignite. They all dug in, laughter ringing out as ice cream disappeared faster than it could melt. Yet amid the joy, Ava's heart thudded against the cage of her ribs. As the kids squealed their delight, she felt the weight of what lay ahead pressing down on her. Maybe Sam was indeed everything she had been missing, but would it be enough? What if he knew the truth about her struggles? After a successful, joyful race that Mia undoubtedly won, Sam turned to Ava, showing genuine interest. You okay? He asked softly, his tone shifting slightly from playful to sincere. Ava took a deep breath. I'm fine. Just thinking. About the next sweet adventure? He teased gently. She chuckled, but inside, her heart raced. What he saw as hope felt like a battleground, brimming with uncertainty. Could it be possible to allow her heart to take the lead instead of her fear? As twilight descended, painting the fairground in deep blues and purples, she felt an impatient stirring. It was time to decide. Did she dare to take that leap of trust? The night vibrated with possibilities, but one pressed against her chest with more urgency than the others. Could she really let go of everything that had held her back? Just then, a distant loudspeaker announcement broke through the night, announcing a fireworks show about to start. The kids jumped up and down, squealing with excitement. Fireworks! We have to go? Mia shouted, grabbing both Jake's and Sam's hands, pulling them in the direction of the vibrant lights. As Ava shuffled along, torn between hope and anxiety, Sam turned back to her, his gaze lingering on hers. Come on, Ava. It's a night to remember. Let us make it unforgettable. Could this night be the beginning of something new? Or would the shadows creep back before dawn? The weight of uncertainty pressed down heavy, forcing Ava to confront the pivotal question looming at the forefront of her heart. Was she ready to take that leap? The air buzzed with excitement as they rushed toward the fireworks display, the kaleidoscope of colors already painting the night sky. Mia's laughter rang out, pure and infectious, pulling Ava along like a current. Sam walked beside her, his footsteps steady and inviting, and the warmth of his presence chased away the chill of doubt that had lingered in the back of her mind. Just look at that sky, Jake exclaimed, pointing at the first burst of color. It's like magic. Ava caught her breath, letting the beauty wash over her. Each explosion above mirrored the sensations swirling in her chest, joy mingled with uncertainty, brightness shadowed by fear. Isn't it amazing? Sam leaned closer, sharing her view, and for a moment, it felt like they were in their own little world. The bursts of red and blue glimmered in his eyes, igniting a flicker of hope in her heart. Yeah, it really is, Ava said, and she meant it. They gathered on a patch of grass, starry-eyed children nestled in the center. Mia and Jake cheered as the sky lit up, their silhouettes jumping against the backdrop of illuminated night. Ava couldn't help but smile at their uncontainable happiness. It's a good night, isn't it? Sam murmured, shifting a little closer. It is, Ava replied, her voice caught in her throat. A part of her longed to share her truth, the layers of struggles she had kept hidden. But another part was terrified of the risk. Hey, Sam said gently, bringing her back to the moment. You okay? You seem deep in thought. Just then, fireworks erupted again, and everyone gasped in delight, momentarily silencing her turbulent mind. She looked at Sam, meeting his steady gaze. Ava hesitated, weighing her words. I'm just overwhelmed. Tonight is wonderful, but it's been a long time since I've felt this kind of joy. Sam's face softened. You deserve it. Let yourself enjoy it. We all get stuck sometimes, but it's okay to let go. Such clarity in his words struck her like a revelation. Could it really be that simple? Mia squealed again as a golden shower of fireworks fell like rain, and Sam's contagious enthusiasm filled the air. Did you see that? That was epic. Ava's heart lifted, the weight of her worries slowly lifting. They were just a moment away from something beautiful, something she wanted to share. The next burst of light illuminated Sam's smile, and in that instant, everything inside her cracked open a little more. Resting back on her hands, she laughed alongside the kids, feeling the warmth of connection not just with them, but with Sam too. Yet a flicker of anxiety lurked just beneath the surface. How could she dive into the possibility of something more without shedding her past? Could she weave him into her chaotic life, share the burdens she carried? Wow, look at that one! Jake shouted, and Ava turned her gaze skyward, caught off guard by the brightness. Like a shooting star, Mia declared, her face lit up with wonder, and for a fleeting moment, Ava wished she had the courage to wish on it, too. Sam leaned closer again, his voice low. Ava, whatever's going on, you don't have to face it alone. His sincerity rattled her walls, and she turned to him, searching for reassurance. You don't know what you're getting into. But Sam held her gaze, unwavering. Maybe I want to find out. The air crackled with potential, igniting Ava's heart against the shadows lurking at the edges of her mind. But just then, the night sky exploded once again in a symphony of color, distracting her momentarily from the weight of her truth. Her heart swelled, caught in a tug-of-war between fear and hope. Could she let him in, or would her past hold her hostage? As the fireworks fizzled out, leaving behind delicate trails of smoke, a familiar knot twisted in her stomach. Every vibrant color fading away raised an inevitable question: if she wanted to build a new future, how much of her heart was she willing to risk? She took a deep breath, the warmth of possibility filling her lungs. Let us see how this night ends, she whispered to herself. But even as the beauty faded into darkness, another truth loomed large in her mind. Was she ready to take that first step toward something new, or would she remain frozen in fear? The stars twinkled overhead, each one a gentle reminder of the choices ahead. What awaited her when the fireworks faded and reality returned? Ava blinked as the last spark of light extinguished in the sky, leaving behind a veil of silence. It felt like a breath had been drawn, held just a moment too long. She could hear the soft chatter of Mia and Jake, their voices still bubbling over with excitement. But all Ava felt was the lingering warmth of Sam beside her, the electric potential humming in the air. Come on, more fireworks. We want more, Jake cried, tugging on Mia's sleeve. They both spun in circles, laughing and pleading for the show to continue. Ava turned her gaze away from the sky, landing back on Sam. Are you sure about wanting to find out? She asked, her heart thudding like the booming echoes from the display. The thrill of waiting for an answer hung between them, charged with unfulfilled possibilities. Absolutely, he replied, his voice steady and calming. Honestly, I'm all in if you are. Ava's breath hitched. She had built walls around her heart, fortified by past hurts and old failures, each one a bricks laid to protect herself and her son. But here, in this moment, beneath the fading glow of fireworks, she felt a flicker of hope break through. Could she consider letting someone new into her life? The feeling was foreign and exhilarating. What if I mess everything up? Ava whispered, half expecting to see a reaction of discomfort in Sam's gaze. Instead, he smiled warmly. Mistakes are how we learn. But it's not about them. It's about the journey we can share. Ava blinked, letting the weight of his words settle into her. Didn't that sound nice? The idea of sharing, of not carrying those burdens alone. It felt like light breaking through the dense clouds hovering over her heart. Suddenly, she felt the little hands of Mia and Jake as they flopped down beside them, still buzzing with energy. Can we play a game now? Please? Mia bounced excitedly, her eyes bright with life. Of course, Sam declared, transitioning seamlessly from the deeper conversation to their laughter. How about a round of tag? You can be the first one to catch us. With that, the mood shifted. Ava watched as Sam took off, encouraging the kids to run after him, their peals of laughter echoing in the night. She stood, barely aware of her own heartbeat, too enraptured by their spontaneous joy. It was as if his smile reached into her soul, pulling her out of the shadows she was so accustomed to living in. Come on, Ava, Mia shouted, turning back to let her join in. There it was again, the pull, the invitation. The lightness began to fill her, allowing her heart to widen at the corners. The hesitation that had previously anchored her began to crack. She stepped forward, joining the madness, laughing as she looked at the faces of the children, pure and carefree. Sam glanced back, stalling to catch her eye, and in his gaze, she found more than friendship. There was an invitation to something deeper. But still, the past wasn't too far behind. What if Sam learned her truth? What if he backed away, repulsed by the baggage she carried? Taking a steadying breath, she dashed after the kids, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and fear. Her laughter intertwined with the others, lifting her spirit. For just a moment, she couldn't think of anything but this beautiful chaos. Yet, as she twirled to tag Mia, she felt an unshakable question reverberate within her. Was a new beginning truly possible? As the tag game evolved into a burst of running and laughing, Ava's heart thumped louder, though a sliver of uncertainty remained. Just as she felt the thrill of connection surge inside her, the distant sound of a siren cut through the laughter. Ava froze, a cold shadow crossing her features. What would she have to face when the night drew to a close? As she looked toward the direction of the sound, a chill gripped her, drawing her back toward the reality she wished to escape. And in that chilling moment, she was once again torn between the comfort of her newfound joy and the weight of the past that refused to let go. What would the next moments bring? Perhaps the answer lay in the choices she'd soon have to make, choices that would define her path forward. As the sirens drifted into the distance, Ava's heart raced with a new torrent of emotions, mixing dread and a fierce determination. She couldn't let her fear overshadow the rare joy swirling around her. Sam and the kids were still laughing, mirroring the freedom she craved but had long kept at bay. As she pulled her thoughts together, Ava was suddenly aware that this was her moment, a moment that could decide the course of her family's future. Running through the grass, chasing after Mia's bright laughter and Jake's gleeful shouts, she pushed the shadows aside. Laughter erupted from her lips, mingling with the giggles of her children and Sam's charming banter. In those seconds, nothing else mattered. They were alive, breathing, in a bubble of warmth and togetherness that felt almost magical. "Catch me if you can," Mia called, her little legs pumping furiously. Sam, grinning, took off after her with easy strides. The sight sent a refreshing wave of joy crashing over Ava, and she joined in their playful chaos. "I'm coming, you little tigers," she declared, embracing the moment. The weight of the past slipped away, if only for a fleeting moment, and she felt herself rediscovering the fun of being a carefree participant in life alongside her kids. As Sam slowed down to let Mia and Jake catch up, he looked back at Ava, his gaze filled with warmth and encouragement. An unspoken question lingered in the air, thick and compelling. "Hey," he called, his voice steady, cutting through the laughter. "What do you say we go for one last ride on the Ferris wheel before we call it a night? That way, we can share more giggles watching the dazzling lights from above." Ava felt her heart flutter, her insides twisting with both excitement and fear. Could she trust this moment? Could she trust him? As she glanced at her children, their grins stretching wide across their faces, she sensed their silent support. It felt as if they were urging her to take a leap, to embrace a future they could build together. With a deep breath, she committed. "Let us do it," she exclaimed, her voice a blend of triumph and trepidation. "Yay!" Mia and Jake cheered, racing ahead toward the Ferris wheel, the sun now stretching low, painting the sky a soft blend of orange and indigo. Ava hurried after them, laughter bubbling in her throat. In line for the Ferris wheel, Sam leaned closer, brushing his shoulder against hers. "You okay?" he asked quietly, peering into her eyes. "I am," she replied, the truth blooming within her. "I need to be for them, for me." His smile widened, and with each step toward the glowing wheel, Ava felt the shadows of doubt begin to lift. This was no longer just a fleeting happiness. It was possible to share her life again, to open her heart. They climbed into the car, a gentle sway rocking them as they settled in. As the wheel began to spin upward, Ava held her breath, watched her children wriggle in excitement. And Sam was right there, just a breath away, grinning like it was the simplest thing in the world. When they reached the top, the expanse of the town lay below them, lights twinkling like stars fallen to earth. It was nowhere near perfection, but it was real, vibrant life. Ava turned and caught Sam's gaze, and in that moment, the fear dissipated entirely, replaced by the promise of newfound hope. "Look at all those lights," Mia exclaimed, her eyes shining as she pointed enthusiastically. "They look like little dreams waiting to be chased," Jake chimed in, innocent wisdom spilling forth. "And we can chase them together," Sam said, his voice low and filled with sincerity as he looked at both kids, then at Ava. "Because that's how we build our story." In that profound silence, with their hearts full of possibilities, Ava realized it was time. Vulnerability was scary, but so was staying confined within the walls she'd built around her heart. "Sam," she began, her voice steady but nervous, "I need you to know that I've been through a lot. Not just me, but my kids, too. I don't want to scare you away, but I also don't want to hide from what could be." He turned to her, his gaze unwavering. "You're not scaring me, Ava. I see you. I see them. And I'm here to be part of that, no matter what." A wave of relief washed over her, like cleansing rain after a long drought. In that moment, everything shifted. She could be brave. She could trust. As they slowly descended back to the bustling fairground, she felt lighter, each second passing leaving behind remnants of past fears that no longer served her. This was the chance to create a future however unpredictable, however messy with Sam and her little family. When they climbed out, her heart raced, but this time not from anxiety. It was the thrill of stepping into a new chapter, a chapter where love, friendship, and shared experiences redefined the meaning of family. "Let us go catch fireflies," Jake yelled as they hopped off the Ferris wheel, tugging at her hand. "Yes, fireflies," Mia joined in, giggling. Ava turned toward Sam, their eyes locking in a moment of pure understanding. With hearts full of laughter and hope, hand in hand, They ventured into the night, ready to embrace whatever came their way head-on, strengthened by an unspoken promise to face it together. Ava realized that a new journey had begun not just for her, but for all of them. What once felt daunting now seemed like an adventure waiting to unfold, glowing brightly like the twinkling stars above, lighting up paths yet to be discovered. And as the laughter echoed into the night, Ava could finally breathe free, knowing she dared to trust. The waiting was over. It was time to live. Now, let me tell you something important. This is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories filled with hope and inspiration. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us spread the love. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this. Ending your thoughts mean the world. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. Let's build this community together.